Alright, so let's get at the population standard deviation from the data set that you had. Now earlier in the problem you got the mean by adding up all of the data and dividing by the number of data. And that's still going to be the mean for the population. So it's still going to be 32.9. We're going to use that in our population standard deviation. The first thing we have to do to find the population standard deviation is take each of our pieces of data and subtract the mean, mu. This is our symbol for the mean for the population. So we're going to take 41.5 and subtract 32.9. And when I do that, 41.5 minus 32.9 is 8.6. And I will do that for the next piece of data as well. 45.4 minus 32.9. And when I do that, 45.4 minus 32.9 is 12.5. And when we subtract our next piece of data, 12 minus 32.9, it's going to be negative. We're going to get negative 20.9. And when we subtract 40.6 minus 32.9, that gives us 7.7. And 25.7 minus 32.9 gives us negative 7.2. And 14.3 minus 32.9 gives us negative 18.6. And 46.3 minus our 32.9 gives 13.4. And 44.7 minus 32.9, 11.8. And finally, 25.6 minus the 32.9 gives us negative 7.3. Oops, 0.3. All right, now, notice I've made a third column, which is to take x minus our mean squared. Now, we just found the x minus the mean, so all we need to do now is go through and square each of these values we got in our second column. So make sure you square and not do the square root. So we want to say 8.6 times 8.6, in other words. All right, so if I do 8.6 times 8.6, I get 73.96. If I take 12.5 times 12.5, I get 156.25. If I take negative 20.9 times negative 20.9, I get 436.81. Remember, when we square values, they will always be positive. If I take 7.7 times 7.7, 59.29. If I take negative 7.2 times negative 7.2, 51.84. If I take negative 18.6 times negative 18.6, oops, that's going to be 345 point, oops, I can't type, 345.96. If I take 13.4 times 13.4, I get 179.56. If I take 11.8 times 11.8, I get 139.24. Negative 7.3 times negative 7.3, I get 53.29. All right, now that we've got that column, we are going to take everything in this column and just add up this column. So we're going to add 73.96, 156.25, 436.81, all the way down to the bottom. And when I add up this column, I am going to get, and I'm going to put it directly beneath that column, 1496.2. And be careful, it's real easy when adding up the numbers in the column to make one silly mistake putting the stuff in. So 1496.2. Then I take that number that I've got from adding up that column, and I divide by the number of data I started with. So I'm going to take 1496.2, and I'm going to divide it by 9 pieces of data. So I had 9 pieces of data. That's going to end up giving me 166.244444. And I take these calculations usually out about 6 decimal places because we get rounding error if we round off too early. All right, now that is actually the variance, 166.244444. To get the standard deviation, all I need to do now is take the square root, and instead of typing out that symbol, because it does Take a little time and word to get it. I'm just going to type square root of 166.24444. And what we get is 12.89. And hopefully that will help you in dealing with the population standard deviation.